How's it going, gamers? My name is Rushcode, and in today's devlog, I'll be finishing the platformer game that I started 2 weeks ago and packaging it up for you guys to play. First off, I'd like to thank one of my subscribers, Underfunded Scientist, for suggesting on how I can use a trigger volume to reset the level when the player falls through the cracks. After fiddling around a little more with this mechanic, I learned that I could either reset the level, which involves changing or resetting all the platform states, or I could just change the player's location, resetting that and maintaining whatever is happening on the platforms. So if I were to jump on a platform here and activate that one over there and fall off the gap, I would still maintain what's ever happening in this game. And these were the blueprints for the platform. I've split into two sections where the platform loop down here is basically just the stuff I did in my video on random elevators. You can check that out, links in the description. The only thing I did differently here was I made the timeline go up and down, or down and up, depending on which way the platform is going, because the platform is starting from its center point and moving up, back to center, down, and back to center. So I made it such that the timelines would go up, down, then down and up. And at the end of this, it would just loop through to each other, lowering and raising over and over again. But moving on to the switch mechanic, this is probably the most interesting part of this thing. I learned that I could do something called a sequence, and a quick shortcut to that is just holding down S and left clicking to activate a sequence node, which allows me to do different things in a particular sequence. I just decided to use that because it felt a bit more organized, rather than putting all of this stuff at the end of this over here and connecting it up. And here's what's really cool, right? When I set the boolean that determines if I've stepped on the platform or not, so that it will not do it over and over again every time I step on it, I found a way where you can output the boolean's value by converting it to a string first, using some strange function over here, and that prints it on the output when I stand on the platform. And I was a bit proud of myself for being able to figure that out all on my own, because all I was going off on was my coding knowledge. For example, like in JavaScript, if you created a boolean, you can print out its value by just typing print. When you click run, it'll actually print it on the console. So it turns out I can do something similar here, which is great because that means in future game development, I can keep track of certain elements and variables by simply converting it to a string and then outputting it using print string. Now for the actual game, I don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to delete this. And from there, it changes the platform color to green when it's stepped on, and proceeds from there to find a random platform that hasn't been switched on yet. And I learned a couple of things about packaging the game. Turns out that if you wanted to reduce the size of the game, you can just remove some of the starter content. For example, all the textures here, they take up a few hundred megabytes, which I'm not even using, so there's no point keeping any of this. And under project settings for packaging, there is this advanced section where you can check create compressed cooked packages, and that will somehow make it a bit smaller as well. Alright, so the game's done, and the size is only about 300 megabytes. So that saved me about 500 megabytes, which is insane. So that's great, it's way smaller now, and it'll be less of a hassle for you guys to download if you want to try it out. And this is what the end product looks like. So this game is by no means complicated. I wanted to make something simple and easy and just have a bit of fun with randomization. But if you guys want to give it a go, the link's in the description. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more content like this, then click the subscribe button down below and tap the notification bell to find out when the next video comes out. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Now if I time this just right, I should be able to do it in one run. Okay, let's go! Yes! Woohoo!